Hey everyone, this is Sergio coming at you guys. So you guys have been commenting, you guys have been messaging me, emailing me, replying to me on Twitter, telling me we want to see a hero moment phone fight. And you know what? I listened, so here it is. Right off the bat though, some people have been asking me, hey, are you ever going to do a Samsung moment video review all on its own like I did with the HTC Hero? And you know what, guys? Unfortunately, I will not be. The main reason is the software. The moment really is just Android 1.5 cupcake running on a beefed up processor and very, very nice hardware. So really there isn't enough reason for me to get into a full in-depth review because you've seen it already. You've seen it on the MyTouch 3G, you've seen it on the G1. It's the same software. But with that being said, in this review, I will go into it somewhat because, always I'm comparing the two phones, and you'll get to see, with this how it runs and all that good stuff. And yeah, so right off the bat, let's get into hardware. The most first impressions and all that good stuff. Let me take off the little silicone thing. This is not part of the HTC Hero. Some people have asked me, did you get a white Hero? This Sprint Century white Hero? How do you get a white Hero? It's not a white Hero. It's your regular gray, kind of dull looking HTC Hero that you get from anywhere. I just like to put on this little silicone case because it makes it look flashy. Okay, so first off, just a very quick hardware comparison between the two devices. So on this you have your Hero. Here is the Samsung Moment. As you can see, it even tells you Samsung Moment. So on the front you have a 3.2-inch capacitive display on both phones, 320 by 480 pixels. The Moment has an AMOLED display. I will tell you what that's about when we get into the software. You'll notice right off the bat the difference between the two screens. So yeah, AMOLED display. On the front, the Hero has 3 actual buttons. So you have your call send, call in, and the trackball. And it has this front faceplate that covers 4 hardware buttons. You have menu, search, back, and home. On the Moment, you just have call send, and call end, and this optical trackpad. This optical trackpad, I have to tell you right off the bat, just works beautifully. I found in my testing that it worked a lot better. Well, not a lot better, but significant enough that you notice the difference between the trackball as far as when you're trying to get to your links or you're trying to edit your text and stuff like that. Plus, you're not worrying constantly 24/7 that you're getting dust particles in here that you'll eventually have to replace this ball and stuff. Not that I've heard of any such things on the Hero as of late, but with Blackberries, I'm sure some of you have heard, or if you're into smartphones a lot, as I'm sure you are if you're watching this video, some Blackberry users have had to replace their balls or get them swapped out because of the dust particles that do build up in here over time. Okay, so that is on the front. Instead of buttons though for your home, menu, and back, you have these capacitive touch controls. And while they do work well, I have had a little complaint with them, and I will get into that why when we get into the interfaces. On your sides, you have your volume rocker switches for both phones. On the front, or not on the front, on the top I should say, you have your 3.5mm headphone jacks. The Moment also has a little lanyard thing here, so you can put a little lanyard to it, you can carry it and it won't fall out of your hand. Though on the Moment, to get to your 3.5mm headphone jack, and it's not that difficult if you have nails, but if you're like me, sometimes it can be a bit of a hassle. Your 3.5mm headphone jack is underneath this little flap. Okay? So, on your back, you have your cameras. For the Hero, you have a 5.0 megapixel, no flash. On the Moment, you have a 3.2 megapixel with LED flash though, and you even have a little portrait self-view mirror on there. Let's see if you can see that. There you go. Okay. The Moment is with Google Experience phone, as you can see with Google. The Hero is not. The Hero though, there are some of these out there that have the with Google branding on there. I think I got one of the earlier production models that doesn't have it, but it is not a Google Experience phone, and I'll get into the differences between that when I get into the software comparisons. Okay, so that is the moment. On the back, on this side, the Hero has nothing, so why even put you there? The moment, though, I do love these little buttons. Let me get that into focus. Okay, you have a dedicated camera button, which is just amazing when you're like this. You're like, oh, let's take a photo. Hey, look, my phone's like a camera. Beep. And you have your dedicated voice activation button, which is also great when you just want to go beep. Call this person. Calling this. Bottom, the HTC Hero has a micro USB for data and for charging and everything, which I love. You know, we're getting into the age and day of phones where standardization is becoming a must. Meaning, you know, if you buy a $40 car charger that uses micro USB, when you change a phone or when you lose a phone and you get a new phone, you don't want to have to buy a new $40 charger. You want to stay with the same one you have and use the same micro USB. Okay, so the Hero has that on the bottom. The moment for charging and data syncing, let me show you under this little other flap, has a proprietary Samsung connection. Did you hear that deep sigh? That sigh of disappointment? So it's not that much of a hassle, you know. You have it comes with its own little USB connector, it comes with its own charger, with everything. So out of the box, you'll have no problems connecting to your computer and syncing or passing over songs and that kind of stuff. But you know, when you get into your car and you want to use that charger that you bought for your, I don't know, old Motorola Q, it's not going to work. You're going to have to get a new one. So, a little sad to see that Samsung still hasn't made that switch yet on all their phones. But, hey, you know, what are you going to do? It's just a little hiccup. It's just a little setback. It's not going to stop you from buying this phone, though, if you love it. Okay, so that is hardware. Other major difference between the two players. It's not like I can dissect these and show you the innards, but underneath the hood, the Hero has a 528 Qualcomm megahertz processor, and the Moment has an 800 megahertz processor. Okay, so while it sucked that the Hero is running on old generation computer processors, the Moment has a very beefed up, a new gen, a much zippier, much faster processor, and you will notice a difference when you're using the phones. So if speed is an issue, if multitasking, heavy, not just general multitasking, heavy multitasking is an issue, then really the Moment has. What's the thing you do the most with your phone? Make calls, text, web browsing, email, etc., etc. You know, that changes on a person-to-person basis. So I will be comparing all of these, and so you can see the major differences between the two phones. But the thing everybody does the most is unlock their phones, and you have to do so to even use it. So I'm going to show you how the two phones compare as far as unlocking. So the Sprint Hero, you press a little power button. You can press this and slide to unlock, or then press menu to unlock. Or you can just press menu and slide to unlock, or you can double tap menu and it's unlocked. Okay, that's one of the little benefits of having hardware buttons. Not to bash too much on the Moment, but personally I do prefer the hardware buttons over the touch capacitive ones. Okay, so on the Moment, so you can see these do not activate unless the phone is turned on or into that unlock screen, which you do by pressing the power button. So that's good. Let me show you how the Moment unlocks. You press power. There's no slide to unlock whatsoever. Not that there is on any other Android phones, but except for the Motorola Droid. But just so you know, there's no slide to unlock. You have to press power, then you have to press menu. And you have to catch it before it goes back. So power, menu, and you're unlocked. Okay. So that's just one of the little instances where having the hardware buttons do help you out a little more than having this, because you can't just double tap menu, because menu is not an actual button.